It's official. The White House has dropped its crypto report. The working groups, all the promises made, the Trump administration is making it happen. President Donald J. Trump is strengthening American crypto and digital asset technology. So on today's episode, we're going to dive in deep into the White House report, talk about some of the winners like Ondo, and we'll also get into some altcoins like Algorand, Axelar, and Chainlink, and talk about cross-chain compatibility. All right, let's dive in. This is directly from the White House website. The American story is one of innovation, from the railroads that linked sea to shining sea to the internet that connected the entire world. American entrepreneurs have led the build out of the next generation technologies, and every generation since its founding. Crypto should be no different. So this is the report right here. Nice opening paragraph. The report is right here. So if you want to check out the 186 page report, feel free to do that. I'm going to hop into the facts sheet and we'll talk about what's happening. So the president's working group on digital asset markets releases recommendations to strengthen American leadership and digital financial technology. And then again, this is the this program here, this working group. The golden age of crypto in the United States was established by President Trump's executive order, strengthening American leadership in digital financial technology. And he said he was going to be the pro-crypto president, and he has delivered. Positioning America as the leader in digital asset markets, the working group determined that a fit-for-purpose market structure framework is essential to support growth and innovation in the digital asset industry, protect consumers, and keep United States at the forefront of digital asset development. So the working group recommends that Congress build a massive bipartisan House of Representatives vote for clarity by enacting legislation that eliminates existing gaps in regulatory oversight, and then embrace DeFi technology that recognizes potential of integrating such technology into mainstream finance. DeFi, TradFi, blending together is where we are heading. And then they want the SEC and the CFTC to use their existing authorities to immediately enable the trading of digital assets at the federal level by providing clarity to market participants on issues such as registration, custody, trading, and record keeping. So they're trying to make everything clear so that crypto really just become a part of the American United States financial system without no hiccups. Then they have the modernizing bank regulation for digital assets. And this is the relaunch crypto innovation efforts by Clarity, permissible bank activities and custody, tokenization, stablecoin issuance, and then the use of blockchain. So you got Circle, you got Coinbase, JPMorgan, all the crypto miners, all of the companies like Strategy that are accumulating crypto. They want to make all that nice and clear. So the XRP army, all those people don't really have to worry about banking certificates and all of that. It's a clear, streamlined process. So we should see a lot more companies getting in on this crypto legislation in the near future. So ensure that bank capital rules are aligned with the actual risks associated with digital assets, not simply the fact of their presence on a distributed ledger. Then they have strengthening the role of the U.S. dollar. I think this may be the most important. Treasury and the banking agencies faithfully and expeditiously implement the Genius Act that just passed recently. Trump signed it about 2 weeks ago. Congress take additional action to protect privacy and civil liberties by passing the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act to codify the provisions of President's executive order banning central bank digital currencies in the United States. We should definitely do that in the U.S. We already are tracked enough by surveillance technology, cameras, geolocations, so if anyone got some crazy happening, they can find you pretty easily if they just tap in with Apple and Google and all the security cameras. But they don't want your dollar to fully be tracked, even though USDC has freeze and clawback features. So they can, manage that in different ways. And combating illicit finance in the digital age. So this is, all the crimes. So they want the self-custody and clarity of the AML obligations of actors within the decentralized system. So people are still, just like banks, are going to get your information if you are involved. Ensuring fairness and predictability in digital asset taxation. So they're trying to figure out taxes basically there. So I think this is really positive for the working groups on digital asset markets. They are fully diving in, making everything nice and clear for us in the future as we see this new financial system be integrated into United States, which then will get spread out through the world via stable coins and just the United States leadership. So kudos to all of them. Very interesting situation. And Ondo has a nice post about this. We're honored that Ondo was featured at the White House's report by the President's Working Group on Digital Assets Markets, which recognizes tokenized securities, stablecoins, and programmable settlement as building blocks of the future of financial system. And then Ondo here says, Ondo's role in this chapter: 1, unlocking access, making U.S. assets globally available via fully backed compliance first tokenized products. Remember, Larry Fink is the owner of BlackRock, and they are heavily invested in Ondo Finance. Larry Fink wants tokenized assets to spread wide and be controlled by the United States, obviously. All the stocks, all the bonds, all the treasuries. He has a lot to gain there. He's in good with many governments and countries around the world as the biggest and largest asset manager. Trump's World Liberty Financial also owns Ondo Finance in their portfolio. So this is all connected. All right. Powering 24/7 markets, enabling deliver versus payment settlement across a range of financial products from treasuries to equities. So this is where if a earnings call happens, right, and it's positive or negative, right, and people are thinking like, okay, I should go buy this stock, but usually the markets are closed after earnings, right, when it's a nighttime earnings. With this type of 24/7 markets, you can go buy that digital tokenized stock to go get those gains. So when the market opens back up, boom, you in on that gap fill, or you can take that sell pressure off if that's what you wanted. So it's going to be a lot more trading and stuff happening. Bridging TradFi and DeFi, connecting institutional grade assets to programmable, interoperable blockchain infrastructure. So Ondo is like, we ready and we're prepared. And the bridging the technology, we're going to dive in more to that today. But here it is. They even have Ondo as an issuer right here in the middle of traditional financial assets and the tokenized financial assets. So Ondo is like, let's get it. And speaking of TradFi and DeFi, here we go. We're partnering with Chase to accelerate crypto adoption. So essentially, Coinbase and JPMorgan Chase are in a partnership now. So coming soon, you have Chase credit cards on Coinbase, and then they're allowing you to redeem your reward points. 100 reward points equals $1, and you can redeem that for USDC now. Directly link Chase accounts to Coinbase. So the JPMorgan Chase users are now integrated with Coinbase. Points can be used basically to buy crypto. That's some stuff right there. And then they have the deeper dive here. Coinbase and JPMorgan Chase join forces to make it even easier to access crypto. Too long, didn't read. We're partnering with JPMorgan Chase to offer 3 new ways for their 80 million plus customers to participate in crypto with Coinbase. The ability to transfer Chase Ultimate Rewards to USDC, the ability to use Chase credit cards to fund your Coinbase account, and a new direct bank integration. What I see from this outcome, Coinbase stock value up, JPMorgan stock value up, institutional investors, people who were a little bit more shy with crypto, with all this presidential and White House federal rules, the biggest bank, the biggest provider of crypto in the United States getting together, a lot more people are about to join crypto and get in on these assets. That's my thesis there. And some big news for Algorand ecosystem. The Algorand roadmap is out now, and they dive into Web3 core values. They talk about economic sustainability, on-chain governance, network decentralization, mainstream adoption, that's what they're working on, developer experience, enterprise readiness, user experience. Can a blockchain do that? That's a tokenized financial products, agentic commerce, self-sovereign identity, the bleeding edge, privacy, quantum security, and scalability. Then we get a nice breakdown from Frugal BC. Shout out to Frugal BC. He says, Algorand dropped his roadmap today. There was a lot. Here are 5 big takeaways that I thought were worth noting. Let's dive in. Algorand is moving to the USA. Smart. So they're going from Singapore to the United States. They're exploring what state to move to specifically. Midwest is nice, I hear, and it would severely cut your CA exec, just saying. So he says go to the Midwest, but the U.S., they have major partnerships with the World Chess. They will launch their rewards system on an Algorand wallet that is whitelisted for them. So 1 million users will be using Algorand once it goes live. That's very interesting. Then you have Rocket Wallet, a new Algorand wallet that is designed to hide the tech, my terminology. Can't recall that wording exactly, but that's big, hiding the tech. Then you got peer-to-peer gossip. It's been here. It's on mainnet now. So that's for more developer type situation that allows the network to operate without relay nodes. Then you got smart contract ASAs. The new ASA will be programmable, which will be great for tokenized treasuries or whatever, which is, got the clawback features. You got different features for tokenized assets. Companies like BlackRock and them, that's what they want. Well, that's it, but wait, there's more. And he says, Steve Jobs fashion CMO Mark announced that there will be a new retail-focused campaign called Algoland. So a retail-focused campaign, which will focus on highlighting projects in the space with quests and prizes. So there we go. You got the Algorand roadmap out, and they are making some waves. So this was a process that took a little while. It is finally here, and now we should see a lot more businesses and retail exposure from my understanding. All right. And then earlier I mentioned cross-chain compatibility. Algorand's focus on that base, the White House, everyone wants to make all this blending of the system a lot easier. So we're going to dive in on Axlar. Axlar is a decentralized network and development platform securely connecting the world's blockchains and financial infrastructures. So this is something Ondo, the White House, they want TradFi mixing with DeFi, all the blockchain systems to be easily interoperable. So you got live now, Axlar is the core platform linking XRP Ledger, XRPL EVM, and the XRP token to the world. So they're working with XRP Ripple, right? So you got wallet integrations, DeFi integrations, Osmosis, Frax, PancakeSwap, Uniswap, Lido. Then you got RWAs, Circle, Centrifuge, Ondo, right? Enterprise, Microsoft, Onyx by JPMorgan. We just mentioned them with Coinbase. Then you got MasterCard is everywhere. Infrastructures, modular blockchains like Celestia, Filecoin. So, and it says 150 plus integrations across 9 verticals, and I read off many of them here. So Axlar is the programmable, scalable, secure, interoperable blockchain. 10 billion transfer, 2.5 million transactions, 70 blockchains, 1.3 million SDK downloads, 75 validators. And again, working with the likes of JPMorgan, XRPs, all of the platforms. So Axlar is there as a technology provider, right? So understanding Axlar, a comprehensive overview. This is something y'all should check out. This is even from a few years ago, but they have show improved. Axlar is more than a bridge. It offers the ability to program cross-chain logic and pass arbitrary data. The upcoming Axlar virtual machine, it's out now, will allow permissionless connection of new chains. Axlar's interchain token service is a testnet which supports cross-chain transfers of native tokens rather than wrapped ones. And that's what's important. They're doing what people want. You just want your Ethereum on whatever chain, your XRP on whatever chain. You do not want wrapped, you want the thing. And this is what this technology is doing. As of this writing, again, this is like a year and a half ago, 10 of the top 15 Axlar chains by activity are EVM based. Axlar is focused on onboarding even more EVM and Ethereum based chains. And again, you see that here. Axlar got 70 blockchains now that they're working with. That's Axlar. And after I cover the next two, we'll even go into the tokens. Then we have Chainlink, the standard for on-chain finance. So you got Axlar making his ways for programming token transfers, the technology that is bridging the gaps. Chainlink is similar, but it's an oracle. So the standard for on-chain finance, they're more focused on the finance part as well. Join leading financial institutions and top DeFi protocols and power your blockchain use cases around tokenized assets, stablecoins, payments, settlement, and more. So they're dive in onto the on-chain finance part in particular. So the Chainlink platform purpose-built for on-chain finance. Chainlink is the only platform capable of connecting financial institutions and blockchains to the secure data, cross-chain interoperability, and decentralized compute they need for advanced on-chain applications. Trusted by firms like Swift, Euroclear, and Fidelity, Chainlink has enabled tens of trillions in on-chain transactions across tokenized assets, DeFi, and capital markets. So a lot of y'all are probably familiar with Chainlink, like definitely. But tokenized assets, big institutions, that's what Chainlink's working on. Why is Chainlink the global standard? Solving core challenges on-chain finance, trusted by leading financial institutions, built for security, reliability, and scalability. So here we go. That's Chainlink right there. And they're all about digital assets and essentially the finance part of crypto. So that's Chainlink. Now we have Wormhole. I would say Wormhole is more similar to Axlar. Wormhole is the leading interoperability platform connecting traditional finance and the internet economy. You see Pipe there, Apollo, BlackRock, VanEck, Securitize, AMD, a lot of different companies, Google Cloud that they're connected to. This is about transferring tokens. So they're all slightly similar, but a little bit different. So Wormhole, native token transfers, that's the main thing. Again, make any token native and not necessarily wrapped. Move tokens around, ETH to Solana, Solana to ETH, back and forth. That's what Wormhole is on. Uniswap's most used multi-chain protocol, Wormhole was the only unconditionally approved cross-chain protocol by Uniswap's Bridge Assessment Committee securities expert. So their main thing is like, we got this security, we secure. We are secure when we're doing token transfers. So Axlar got competition definitely with this one, a little bit different from Chainlink. Now, we brought up Axlar, Chainlink, and Wormhole. let's go look at the token prices, and we analyze a little bit, and then I'm going to kind of rank them to see how y'all would feel about this. All right, so we got Chainlink right here, all-time chart, dropped in about 2017 or so, went crazy. 2021, retraced back, pretty decent right now. All-time high of about $50, $11 billion market cap. So sitting at 16 right now. So Chainlink is looking strong. It's a nice looking chart. I like Chainlink. So Chainlink, so far, I'm approving of the technology in the price action. Then we got Axlar. Axlar launched in 2022. It's pretty new. It didn't come in at the best time. Chainlink launched right then, a bull market happened basically in 2018. Axlar came in a bear market, right at the start of a bear market. So I'll give them some points for that. Survived and then went crazy in 2024 last year. About a $2 or so high. It's at 33 cents. And as of now, the performance isn't the best. This could be a good counter trend recovery crypto right here. It looked like the bottoms are about 30 cents. So we're here close to the bottom. And then the final one we have is Wormhole. Wormhole's token dropped in 2024. So very recent, $300 million market cap. Axlar is 340. So look, these two are more comparable with technology plus market caps plus price action, not basically. So looking at this one, we don't know where the bottom is at. It's at the all-time low right now. Again, Axlar's bottom, you can kind of see it at 30 cents. Chainlink's bottom, I would say the new bottom would be more like $5, $6, and it's much higher than that right now, so maybe even 10. So in my opinion, Chainlink's technology is more on-chain finance, RWAs, that's where we're headed, and I like the chart. Chainlink, I would give it number one position for this interoperability platforms here. So I like Chainlink. Chart, technology. Then number two, I would say Axlar. I would take Axlar as the number two in this interoperability. I use Axlar's, technology on osmosis a lot of times, and it's very smooth, very good. So I like Axlar's technology, and then I'll take the price chart where it's at the bottom, number two. Number three is definitely Wormhole. Personally, I wouldn't even touch this. We don't know where the bottom is at, and I have used the technology on Base and other platforms, and Algorand just implemented the Wormhole technology with folks finance. So that's what I got for cross-chain interoperability, the platform technology, and the prices. Y'all let me know what you like. But again, for me, it's Chainlink, Axlar, then Wormhole. All right, y'all, that's what we got. It's been an explosive week for crypto. We got a slight pullback too right now. So I know people are going to be positioning themselves in certain coins that they've been wanting. However, the White House is definitely laying the foundation for crypto in the United States, on-chain finance, real-world assets, the United States being the leader in crypto blockchain technology. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Until the next time, y'all, peace.
Passive income, gold in my dental, thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple.